What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Two Beans in a Pod. My name is Jose.
Jared right here.
And we're coming fresh off of a loss to the Atlanta Falcons. For those of you that are just joining us here on Two Beans in a Pod, many know that we're diehard San Francisco 49er fans. And coming off of a loss against Atlanta Falcons, I want to know your immediate thoughts heading off of that game.
It's like, it's so annoying with the whole injuries. You know, it's like, I've been saying it. Like, we're cursed. And I know you hate like using that word, right? But it's like, there's got to be something wrong with the whole medical staff. Because, dude, I saw somewhere where, like, this one doctor, like, somewhere in the NFL, managed to, like, figure out, like, how, like, who's the most healthiest team, who's the most, like, team that's not even healthy. Dude, we're in the bottom.
Yeah, I wonder who told you that.
Like, okay, so, like, we had, like, what? 11 out of the 22 starters, like, offense and defense combined, and they were all, like, out.
Yeah.
Both tackles were out. The defensive line was pretty much out. Secondary was gone. Legit, on defense, it was just, like, what?
So I have the names here. We were missing Nick Bosa, one of our, defensive linemen, as well as Eric Armstead. Kinlaw was another one. We're missing both cornerbacks. We're missing our linebacker, Alshire. We're missing Trent Williams on the offensive line, Trey Lance, of course, the quarterback, Elijah Mitchell, the running back, and Hufanga, Talanoa Hufanga, one of our young safeties, has now entered the concussion protocol. I honestly don't know if he's going to be able to make the game against Kansas City, and at this rate, why even risk it, especially with all the issues going on in Miami with the concussions. I think it's very serious that we need to take care of that. But like you said, the injuries it shouldn't be an excuse, because there's going to be some people thinking it's an excuse. But it's just a fact. It's a fact of reality. We have one of the best defenses, at the time the number one defense. And when you have over half of your starters out, naturally that's going to take a toll on your productivity and your ability to win games defensively.
Like, okay, the defense, I understand. It's pretty much just the backups playing. You know, like, you can only do so much. The offense, I don't want to hear an excuse, okay? And we have the weapons. Right? Jimmy actually played exceptional. All right? I know he had 2 picks.
Yeah, I was going to say, aside from those 2 picks.
But one of those picks was not even his fault to begin with. And then the other one, it was like the last play of the second quarter. Okay? He had to throw it.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Kyle, my guy, like, Shanahan, like, hey, man, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing, man? Like, I get that you have, like, your first, like, 24 plays scripted and all. But, like, dude, it's like starting to become like a trend. It's so predictable of your play calling, and I think it kind of makes sense every time when we have like those matchups against like ex-49er players, personnel, coaches, or whatever. Most of the time, we lose. The reason why is because like it's so predictable. We know what they know what you're gonna do, and like 85% of the time, it's either just running straight down the middle. Okay, you're either gonna run straight down the middle. Hand the ball up to Ayuk. Debo. Which, by the way, Ayuk, he played pretty well. Two touchdowns yesterday. 2
touchdowns of his own. 2 touchdowns in the first half because we weren't able to produce points in the second half. You mentioned Jimmy Garoppolo, who threw the ball 41 times, completing 29 of those passes, had 296 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. But you compare that to the game that Marcus Mariota had for the Falcons. Mariota only threw the ball 14 times. He had 129 yards passing and 2 touchdowns of his own. What Atlanta was able to do is defeat us at our own game. They ran the ball. You look at the numbers. We had 50 yards rushing the ball, whereas Atlanta had 168, practically tripling the numbers of rushing yards. They're beating us at our own game. Time of possession, they had 33 minutes. We had 27 minutes. And I always look at that and as a factor of who wins a game.
And that's what really bugged me. Like, I get it. They have more time than us. But, dude, in the fourth quarter, man, it was like 10 minutes left in the game. We had the ball. We legit chewed the clock. It's like, dude, no, like, if there's 10 minutes left in the game, you don't chew the clock when you're down 14 points. No, you gotta, like, pick up the pace and start, like, passing the ball. You don't just run it down the middle and chew the clock every single time. It's like, no, like, what are you doing, And I feel like that's a big thing that Shanahan needs to work on, time management. Because, dude, it's been a problem. He's been doing this for like how many years now? He did it in the Super Bowl. He did it at last year's NFC Championship game. It's like
you could argue he did it in 2 different Super Bowls because he was the offensive coordinator of the Falcons.
like I always heard like I've always like you ever heard the term you learn from your mistakes?
Yeah, of course.
I don't think he's done that.
I think it's just one of those things where Kyle Shanahan is propped up to be one of the bright offensive minds in the league, and I feel like he tries to outsmart his opponent to the point where it's inhibiting and prohibiting his ability to move the ball and garner points. Because to your point, you did mention our roster. If you have guys like George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, and Deebo Samuel, just to name a few weapons, I'm not even talking about Juszczyk or our running backs, you should be able to put up points. And for us to just put up 14 points, it's abysmal. It's terrible. You look at the third down conversion, we were 3 for 8, and Atlanta was 9 for 14. Now that just might be up to the defense that we weren't able to slow them down, but offensively we shouldn't have to worry about a third down conversion. You look at the turnovers. We had 3 turnovers, Atlanta had 0, and yards per play, we had over 6 yards per play, whereas the Falcons were just about 5.2. All of these are recipes for victory. There was no reason why we should not have won this game. But it's like I told you heading into it. I even said this a few weeks ago. I said this Atlanta Falcon game will be a trap game because for some reason we always struggle with Atlanta, and I feel like it's their way of getting back at Kyle.
And that's the thing too. They know like Kyle's like schemes and everything. It's too predictable at this point. Like I'm surprised McVay. It took him like how many damn years to finally beat us?
Well, I mean, it took him 8 games?
Something like that.
Because we're currently still on a winning streak in the
regular season.
In the regular season. Well, no, it took him less than because we were six straight. Then we lost in the postseason, and then we just won one this season. So we're currently on a 7-game winning streak in terms of the regular season, but we're 7 out of 8 in the last 8 games, including the postseason.
You know what's also annoying? Whenever they say like in the whole post conferences or whatever. The next man up mentality.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got depth, supposedly, right? Where's the offensive line?
But that's not the case, though. We don't really have that type of depth now that we have so many guys injured. The injury report itself looks like a Pro Bowl roster. Like, our injured players on defense could make up a top 10 defense in the league right now.
No, and the funny part is, there's, like, some of our fans, like, the fan base, they're weird, man. They're over here saying, oh my goodness, we should trade these people, these picks, and try to get Christian McCaffrey. And no disrespect, he's a great running back, okay? One of the best when healthy. Like, dude.
He's been playing good so far this year. I would not mind having McCaffrey, but my thing has always been, like, at what cost? I don't want to give up too much. I don't want to give up too many of our players that are still healthy at this rate. But also, you have to look at the trends, and when was the last time Kyle and John had made a trade or made a big deal that regarded a player of his caliber?
A running back, Jerick McKinnon.
Not even a running back, just in general. I mean, the biggest trade, what would you say?
Trent
Williams? Yeah, and that was back in 2020.
Well, to be fair, we really needed that, though. Once Staley retired, it's like, dude, that's a big hole right there. Because Staley, dude, that's Joe Staley, man.
Would you say running back is a position that we really need at this moment?
Well, at the moment, okay, yes and no. Yes, because, we're kind of hurt, and Jeff Wilson had an off game. No, because Elijah Mitchell is supposedly coming back. And on top of that, I feel like every time when it comes to the draft, we really, most of the time we pick up running backs like free agency. Undrafted.
Yeah.
Besides Trey Sermon, which...
I don't even move on from him.
Yeah.
That was a bad pick. That was 2 years ago. Trey Sermon, didn't pan out. Whatever.
Yeah.
We keep moving forward.
I feel like we do best when we do undrafted. Okay, because I feel like most of the time the undrafted players, they have more of what's the word? Like, what I'm talking about? Like
they have more desire. They want to prove themselves. They want to demonstrate that, like, hey, I may not have been drafted, but I do have the talent and the caliber to stay within the league. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we have a good track record of finding athletes of that caliber, of that mindset to help produce, some sort of production on our offense or defense regarding, whichever place of the, team they fall.
And that's why I'm not really too worried about the running back room. With me, I'm always worried about the offensive line room, dude. Yeah. I've been saying it for years now. McGlinchey just got hurt. I think it was like a calf injury or something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even surprised at this point, you know. Kittle's probably stuck at right tackle now.
What did you see the post-game conference with George Kittle?
No, what did he say?
So it wasn't really a matter of what he said. There's been a lot of instances where he'll be like the hype man, you know. Moving on to the next team, like, hey, we're doing our best or whatever. He's being positive.
And that's what I like about Kittle, though. Like, even when we're down, he brings a smile to my face, man. That's my homie.
This last one, though, he changed his tune a bit. Like, you can sense the disappointment, like the frustration, like we're not playing well. It's obviously not verbatim. It's not what he said verbatim.
No, I know.
But it's like you can tell in his voice and his tone, like George is like, this ain't it.
Well, he has a point though, because like I said, we have the weapons. It's just we're not executing, and we have like no offensive line.
Well, you can also look at a team like Atlanta. Nobody thinks that they're going to win the division. They have guys like the Saints.
They're playing spoiler.
Yeah, they have the Saints and the Buccaneers in there. No one thinks they're going to accomplish anything. Like you said, they're playing spoiler, and at this rate, they have nothing to lose.
Yeah,
they literally have nothing to lose. Marcus Mariota is not going to be their quarterback of the future. The only guy on that team that's like untouchable, there might be two. Kyle Pitts and Cordell Patterson. Those are like the only two that, you know, obviously will not be touched on that team. But again, the Falcons don't have anything to lose, and that's why when going into this, I knew it was going to be a trap game. And if we lose this game, we're going to fall to 3-3, which we did. We did lose the game, so now we're 3-3. We're still leading the division.
Yeah,
but now we're 3-3, tied with the Seahawks, tied with the Rams. Thankfully, you know, the Arizona Cardinals had to lose to Seattle. But
that's kind of funny though.
Yeah, but I saw somewhere that the Seahawks defense is giving up 30 points per game, and Arizona was only able to put up 9. That's nothing.
Wait, hold on. They scored a touchdown, correct? Did they miss the PAT?
They missed.
Yeah, because their kicker's out.
They missed the PAT. But
I'm already focused on Kansas City.
Yeah, in any event, we have Kansas City coming up. I believe it's like the afternoon game.
Yeah, I think like 1:25 Pacific time.
I'm again. And it's like, this is what happened with the LA Ram game. I'm going on the record. I think this is a game we're going to lose. Just because of a combination of the injuries, but then you also look at what Kansas City endured against Buffalo.
And thank you, Buffalo, by the way.
Yeah, but not Buffalo. Kansas City is a team that they recognize they should win the division.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to come out swinging, and I don't like our odds, you know, this upcoming week.
See, this upcoming game, it means a lot to me, man, because of 2019. I can't stand, like, Mahomes and the Chiefs, man. I just really can't stand them. And it's like, if we win, I don't care about how much. I'm cool with it, you know? But if we get embarrassed, dude, Kyle needs to be put on blast or something. Like, give him a wake-up call. Because, dude, this is just getting ridiculous at this point. If you want to call yourself an offensive guru, dude, you got to be creative and, like, stop running the ball into the middle. It's so predictable. Make some creative plays or something. Use check more. I saw you use him a little bit in past game.
The last couple of games, he has gotten a little bit more touches. Obviously, nothing extravagant, but he has been getting a little bit more touches than usual.
Yeah, but like give other people a shot, like Juwan Jennings or Danny Gray. You know, like be more versatile. You have the weapons.
But that's another thing that people were pointing out is that guys like Charlie Warner and Danny Gray were getting opportunities and they were dropping balls. They weren't catching them. So I mean, I hear what you're saying in terms of giving other guys opportunities, but those guys, they didn't live up to them. Which begs the question, okay, why aren't we giving more looks to George and Brandon Ayuk? Brandon Ayuk had a really good game.
Okay.
And it's going to be one of those games that's going to get forgotten because of what happened.
Unfortunately, yeah. And let me stop right there when you brought up George, okay? Dude, like I said, we need offensive line. We need to trade for offensive line. If you guys want to win now this year, we need to trade or do something to get an offensive line.
You said it yourself. We don't have like draft picks, so we're going to have to trade players.
And that's... See... the first person I'd probably give up, freaking Kinlaw.
And he's hurt, so who's going to pick him up?
And that's what sucks, because it's like, dude, we're legit shooting ourselves in the foot once again. Like,
my thing with you has always been, like, you make it seem like it's so easy. Dude, it's not that easy, obviously.
Like, I'm just jealous when you got teams like Buffalo, and you got teams like Kansas City, and then, like, you got, like, other teams, like, you can even consider... I don't know, Cincinnati. It's like, they're great teams.
I wouldn't say Cincinnati's a great team.
They just went to the Super Bowl.
Okay, look how they're doing now. You're going to say they're a great team still?
You do got a point, but do you try to get what I'm trying to say, though? It's like, dude, look at even Dallas. I know they just lost, but, dude, they're playing better than us.
I have to disagree with you because you brought up teams like Kansas City, Buffalo, Cincinnati, like you're jealous of them.
Because they're the way how it's panning, they're more successful than us in this season right now, dude.
Yeah. We're only what 6 games in, so this is week 6. But you say, oh, you're jealous of them. Kansas City didn't win a Super Bowl in 50 years. The Buffalo Bills, they haven't done anything with their franchise. The only thing they're known for is losing Super Bowl 4 times in a row. And in Cincinnati, again, their most noteworthy is for losing the Super Bowl twice to us, a third time to the Rams. So I mean, when you say like, oh, jealousy and like, oh, they're successful, like, are they? Are they successful?
Well, see, with Buffalo though, it's like, dude, they're consistent. Us, we're totally inconsistent. It's like one game we're doing pretty good, other game it's like, dude, we're freaking high school team or something. It's like we're so inconsistent. We're legit having an identity crisis, and I find it funny how it's like, if you think about it, this past years, the even years, we're just injury prone, legit. 2018. We were hurt.
Yeah,
2020, and it's like, what the hell is going on? And like, okay, I remember back in 2018, we got hurt. What happened? What happened afterwards? We got Bosa. 2020, we got hurt. What happened? We got. What do we get? Because I don't want to say Trey Lance because he's hurt.
Well, that's what we got.
It's like.
That's what we got. So I don't know what you want to tell you that we got Trey Lance.
This team, man. This team is weird. Well, the way how I look at it, even though the Niners are like not doing so good, we still got the Warriors.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you were able to segue that into the next topic, was because by the time this airs, it's going to be opening day for the NBA season. Mm-hmm. Something I always look forward to. Basketball is my favorite sport. Mm-hmm. And especially with tonight, the Los Angeles Lakers will be visiting the Golden State Warriors on ring night. We're going to get to have maybe not ring night, but it's, the banner. They're going to be dropping the banner.
Warriors.
And the Golden State Warriors have definitely proven to be like the most reliable team in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
At least for our sake. Because, I would say because the Oakland A's, they're not really accomplishing anything. The Raiders had to leave the state. So I do think that the Golden State Warriors have proven to be the more reliable. Just the way that organization is run through, Bob Myers as the GM, Joe Lacob and Peter Gruber as the owners.
And I want to thank the three of them for making our lives happy with basketball. Because in our dark days, we had the Warriors, and they're there to bring a smile to our faces. I'll never forget when the Warriors were doing so good against the Suns. Steve Kerr didn't even have to coach. We coached ourselves.
And it was a blowout. I'll never forget that game. But, like you said, thankfully they were able to put smiles on our faces. Because think about it this way. The San Francisco Giants, finished 82-82 for a 500 season. They haven't really done anything of note. Other than the season in 2021, where we finished first, but we ultimately got eliminated by the Dodgers in the playoffs.
Boo.
The Niners, again, is a constant struggle with them, and the Warriors are coming, straight off of a fourth championship ring in the last 8 years. Curry's fourth, Clay, Draymond, Coach Kerr, Andre Iguodala's fourth, Kevon Looney's third.
Wait, how many rings does Kerr have in total? He won with Chicago and San Antonio?
Well, he won 3 with Chicago, he won 2 with San Antonio, and now 4. So that's 9.
Dude, we gotta get him another one.
I would
you know how big of a flex that would be? Have each finger a ring. That's a flex.
That is a flex. No, and I think for sure. I think it's possible because I've told people, our friends and our family. I've told them that we're not done. I think Stephen Curry and this iteration of the Warriors will finish with 5 rings.
Dude, honestly, I think the biggest flex that you did was like last year after the Suns lost into the finals, or no, I think it was heading into the finals. You told one of our coworkers, it's like, hey, enjoy it while it lasts, because next year we're coming back.
I told him. No, and it's like, and then that's what gets me like flustered and gets me annoyed, is when people start telling me things, and it's like, in 2013, 2014, I told you, I said, this Warriors team with Stephen Curry is going to be good. They're going to be contending. Then they won a championship, right? Mm-hmm. Then they get Kevin Durant, and we all know what happens there. They obviously went for a dynasty run. Then they get hurt. We lose KD, we lose Clay, and like you mentioned, the Phoenix Suns, they go to the finals, and I told Albert, and I told a lot of other people, and I even told our dad, I said, enjoy it. Phoenix has to enjoy it because they're keeping our seat warm, and then we ended up winning. And now, with the whole Jordan Poole and Draymond Green thing, for those who don't know, which, shouldn't be anybody, everybody knows about this, Draymond Green lays out Jordan Poole with. It was a sucker punch. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
He straight up with a sucker punch, and people were saying like, "Oh, the dynasty's over. Draymond Green's leaving." It's like, dude, Wiggins and Poole just signed huge extensions. We still have Clay. We still have Steph. We have Draymond Green for this season, and he has a player option heading into next season, which there's reports saying he will sign again. Anything can change in a year. Obviously, we know that. But this team's not done. This team, this iteration,
They all have one goal.
it's to win.
Yeah.
You look at Michael Jordan and the Bulls, he punched Steve Kerr in the face. Now, it might have been different circumstances.
And we're not going to be comparing, like, oh my God, Draymond's like Jordan. It's like, no, Jordan's Jordan. You can't touch that.
But ultimately, when you want to win, that outweighs everything. And I think that's what this team wants. They just want to keep winning.
I mean, don't we all?
I mean, has to ask the Niners. So,
Well, yeah, go back with the Warriors, please.
So, I think this team. Well, okay, I called it at the beginning of the year. I said we're going back to back. If not, I think it's either this year or next year. But we're not done. I think we win another championship because you
When
look
healthy.
no, of course. I mean, this is assuming we're healthy, of course.
Yeah.
But you look at dude. Listen to the lineup that we have. We are deep with the Warriors. Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, Draymond Green. Wiseman's now looking really good.
And don't forget about Wiggins. And that's saying something now. Because
I wasn't done. There's Andrew Wiggins.
Okay.
You still got Moody, Kevon Looney, Kuminga, Andre Iguodala, who might not get too many minutes, but still his presence alone is huge.
Even off the bench, he's like that. Like, he's a mentor.
He's a better version.
Like, don't you remember last year in the playoffs when, oh my God, the Glove Jr.
Gary Payton, really?
I'm sorry. Well, no, it's because there's so many good players.
But it's Gary Payton.
Even when he was having a bad game, he was there and like mentoring him a bit. Like, hey,
that was big. I hate that we lost him.
I know.
I really wanted to
him and
don't hurt yourself. Otto Porter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otto Porter.
Those are the two guys I was really upset about losing.
Yeah.
But
it's been a long off season for some reason. It felt really long.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I feel like it really dragged.
No, you want to know why? It's because not this past season, but the season like the one where the Lakers won it. They won in like October or something.
Yeah, in 2020.
And it just messed everything up because like a few weeks later, boom, like
the next season started.
Yeah.
Going back to Andre Iguodala, I've always said I think he's a better version of what Udonis Haslem wants to be for the Heat. Udonis Haslem has been with the Heat for like over 20 years at this rate.
What?
And it's like he doesn't play like at all. He's like he looked as like an enforcer. But
Wait
I
a minute,
think
you mean to tell me he was there with like the Miami LeBron?
yeah, at least he played. Dude, he was there with the Dwayne Wade Shaq Heat run.
Dude, what the hell? I'm just learning this right now.
He's been there for like over 20 years. I think he still is there. I'm pretty sure he signed another year. What the hell? But it's like, again, his presence, I don't know. He doesn't do anything. I mean, I'm not going to say he doesn't do anything. I'm sure he adds some kind of leadership and experience. I get that.
Isn't it like John Wall who signs a contract but just never plays?
Well, I mean, he's going to have to play this year. The
When
Clippers.
when was the last time he played?
Ooh, maybe before the bubble.
I don't remember, man.
I think it was before the shutdown. It's
Dude,
been
the
years.
bubble was pretty cool, though, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, the bubble was cool, but I mean...
We don't need it again. But
No, I hope not.
Yeah.
I would hope we won't need the bubble again.
It was very, very unique, Okay, so I got to ask you, right? So when for ring night or the whole banner night, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
What's your prediction?
Okay, I don't think it's going to be like a blowout because our starters haven't really played in the preseason. The only guy that's really played is probably Wiseman. Poole, I guess you could argue, but Clay only played the last game. Steph was getting his limited minutes. Draymond only played the last game as well. A lot of our young guys have played, and they looked really good, might I add. I mean, the chemistry they're developing there with
Patrick Bowman Jr. Like, I don't know. There's something about him.
What'd you call him?
Isn't it Patrick Bowman?
I don't know. I call him PB&J.
That's pretty unique, actually.
Well, I mean,
I like that.
Well, it's because that's what everyone else calls him.
Yeah.
But I mean, just the youth movement that they have going with the Warriors right now, it makes me really hopeful for the future, because with this extension with Jordan Poole, that was very important to me. Yeah. Because Steph isn't always going to be there, so to have someone to kind of lean on moving forward, it definitely helps our chances of continuing to to contend
Well,
in a way that San Antonio did. You know,
not only that, but especially for the second quarter, because usually Curry plays the first entire quarter, first quarter, right? I believe he's like, is on the bench until like the 6 minute quarter, or the 6 minute mark of the second quarter. He comes back in, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that time when Curry's off in that second quarter, it's like, okay, they're starting to come back for the opponent team.
No, I know.
But then once the third quarter starts, it's like obviously we all know the whole third quarter thing, right? We always do.
That's a thing, dude. And like people were barely talking about it again last season. It's like it's always been a thing. We make the right adjustments at halftime, and then we blow teams out. Like that's why I've always said, if we're gonna be at a deficit heading into halftime, keep it within 15 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
If we're down that much, we can still come back and win.
Yeah.
But once you hit like 20, 25, it's like, okay, it's a little bit of a push.
Do you remember like those days with Curry when we were down by like 27, like a quarter, and it would just come back out of nowhere in like 9 minutes or so?
Yeah, back with Oracle. Dude,
Oracle was lit.
What a run. We were able to visit Oracle, prior to it closing down and then moving to the Chase Center. And it was just such an experience. I love that arena. Like what they were able to achieve and also build in terms of the fan base with that arena, and just the legacy that it carries on in terms of the Warriors' history.
Dude, I bought a KD jersey from there.
You did, I remember.
I still have it, man.
I remember.
Well, no, I didn't buy it. My mom bought it for me.
You don't have to know that.
It was a present though. She said we earned it.
There you go. Well, still talking on the Warriors. We talked about this with our friend Daniel from work. Does Jordan Poole still come off the bench? He's got this huge extension. He was a big part of the championship run, last year. But I'm looking at the lineup, right? Steph's obviously, he's point.
Mm-hmm.
Clay is going to be the 2.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Wiseman's going to be the 5.
Well, what's wrong with Kevin?
I think they're going to have Wiseman at the 5.
Well, okay, no, because here's why.
I
always believe in the term, if it ain't broken, why fix it? What if I told you, right? We use Wiseman. We'll use Poole. Get them like a dynamic duo. Like, unfortunately, coming off the bench, right? But what if it's like in a scenario where, kind of like the death lineup. If we have to, we'll do it. Because remember when Iguodala, he was a 6-man, but there's times where no, he's gonna be starting for certain games. I feel like that's what we're gonna do. They're gonna be like the whole ace in the hole, them two.
But here's my thing: he's the second pick in the draft.
Yeah,
you kind of want to start that. Why would you bench that?
Yeah, it's really hard though because Looney did play pretty good, and I think he's underrated.
But he only got those minutes because we didn't have any bigs. It was him and like Bielitsa. And Bielitsa didn't even play the 5 that much because he wasn't that big.
Did we resign him?
No, he moved. He went to overseas.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we lost a good chunk of our guys. I mean, like him, Juan Toscano-Anderson. We mentioned Peyton.
Oh yeah, do we face? Wait, Toscano's with the Lakers.
He's with the Lakers now.
Wait, so he's gonna get his ring tomorrow or today?
Yeah.
Toscano was pretty cool though.
He was good, but
he didn't really get enough minutes though.
Well, no, I mean, look who we had on the team.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga making the proper progressions.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of raw talent, and I just can't wait to see them grow into the roles that they're going to develop. But again, the Draymond Green and Jordan Poole situation is definitely taking over in terms of the
media wise.
Yeah, for
and
the
honestly,
Warriors.
I feel like the media is like over. They're overdoing it at this point because everyone in the Warriors, everyone's cool now.
I mean, again, that's what they want us to think. To be fair, that's what they want us to think.
Well, we'll find out until the game starts.
Yeah, and I think so too. I know we talked about our predictions for the game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be close. I do think we win, though.
I think within 15 points. 15 to 20.
You think that's how much we're going to win by?
Yeah, because here's why, okay? The fans, the Warrior fans, they're crazy. And when the Warriors are hot, the fans are loud as hell.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's going to be a little bit of a... Excuse me. It's going to be a little bit of a nerve-wracking towards the Lakers because, okay, everyone knows the whole situation with how AD is and LeBron, and how, like...
Does Westbrook come off the bench? I have to look at the lineup. I don't know.
That's also another thing, too. If Westbrook comes off the bench, there might be tension going on.
I mean, there's always
Let
tension.
alone, you still got Draymond, who we all know Draymond loves to talk, and tries to get a little bit physical. Who knows? Don't they have Pat Beverly?
They do have Pat Beverly. That's why it's like, are they going to start him or Westbrook?
I don't know, man.
A lot of different lineups both teams could take.
One thing I'm actually looking forward is the lobs, because we got Wiseman now. Could you imagine him and Curry?
I mean, not even just him and Curry. I mean, you also look at a guy like Moody and Jordan Poole, Draymond as well. Draymond can get a little bit hectic with the ball, but we haven't had a lob threat like this since JaVale McGee, and before that Andrew Bogut.
And even then with JaVale, it's like it wasn't really that like, oh my god, you know,
because the Fool was the tallest player we've ever had. I mean, in terms of this run.
Oh yeah.
In terms of this run. No, but again, I think the starting lineup's going to end up being Stephen Curry, Clay. I think Wiggins stays at the 3, Draymond at the 4, Wiseman at the 5, and our 6 man's going to be Jordan Poole. And they have the ability to really mess around with that lineup moving forward. Let's say into the third quarter, we could pull out that fast lineup where it was Steph, Clay, Jordan Poole, Draymond, and Andrew Wiggins. I'm really happy about the Andrew Wiggins pickup as well as the Jordan Poole pickup. Going back to the prediction, because you keep cutting me off, you say it's going to be 15. I'm thinking it's going to be closer. I'm thinking something like 114 to 108. I don't think it's going to be that big of a differential. I do think we emerge victorious, again, fueled by the fans, Dub Nation, and again, the concerns about LeBron, AD, and Westbrook and how the Lakers are going to move forward with their new head coach, Ham.
I was about to say.
I don't know. It's all made for us to win, but that's another thing. Everything is pointed towards a Warrior victory, but irony always tends to, turn its head around the corner, and what if we lose?
Yeah.
But it's only one game out of 82.
So here's why I look at it, though, okay? This whole entire run we have, right? Most of the time, when we lose our first game of the season, we end up winning our last game. The finals.
Damn straight, and that's all that matters to me.
So with me, it's a win-win in our situation. If we win, cool. If we lose, hey, all I know is that they're gonna be tough in the next game because it's pretty. If you think about it, it's pretty rare to lose back-to-back games under Steve Kerr, except for the whole 2021 season or the 2020 season when we lost KD.
Yeah,
everyone was hurt, But contending-wise, we hardly ever lost back-to-back, and that's the thing that's like, I don't want to say unique, but it's like not. It's pretty hard for all teams to do that. In any sport.
I think we're definitely one of the most consistent teams in the NBA. And I think that's not even a debate. You can ask anybody whether they like it or they don't. The Warriors, I think, are among the cream of the crop.
That's why... I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, as Macho Man Randy Savage would say, the cream always rises to the top. Ooh, yeah, dig it.
Yeah. Well, see, that's why we're called the Warriors, though, because we play hard. And it's like, when you face the Warriors, it's like, oh, snap. Remember 2016? They were interviewing Westbrook. They're saying, "Do you guys know who you're facing Saturday?" He's like, "Oh no, we're facing."
He's Warriors.
He's like, "Oh crap," I correct me if I'm wrong, but it was that same night where Curry made that one long 3 in overtime.
It might have been that. There was that February game. It might have very well.
February 27th. I remember.
I think that's correct.
Dude, I saw that shot upside down on your phone, man. We're at our friend's house.
Yeah, I remember. We didn't have the game on, so we had it on my phone and we were watching it.
No, and looking at it under, like I knew when the ball was in midair, I'm like, dude, that's going in, because the way I was looking under your phone. Oh my god,
it was a great shot. It's still, I think it's his greatest shot.
Curry's so inspirational, man.
To close out the episode, though, how many? What's your prediction on the win total? How many wins do you think we get?
See, I'm not. Football's my sport, but basketball, it's kind of really hard for me. There's 82 games, correct?
That's right.
I'm going to say 64, 65.
Really? I hope so. I really hope so. My prediction was 56, 57. I don't think we're going to...
I feel like this team is just so determined, and not only that, we have more of experience with this group alone.
That's true. That's actually a really good point.
Because, 2015, we came out of nowhere. Then 2016 happened, 73-9.
That's great. I mean, the regular season was great.
Yeah. And then 2017...
Great.
Yeah. 2018...
Great.
Dude. I don't know, man. It's just...
Look, and listen, moving forward with the podcast, you're going to be hearing a lot more content regarding the Warriors, because obviously the basketball season has begun. Mm-hmm. We'll still talk about the Niners, of course, because that's one of our, that's basically what we talk about 24/7. So we're going to see a little bit more of a balance between the Niners and the Warriors. Looking forward to that.
See, this is why this is my favorite time of the year or season.
Yeah,
because the Warriors, they always put a smile to my face.
That's what it is, baby. That's what it is. Hopefully, we can go to a game. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah. Wait, I just realized though, whenever one of the teams is doing bad, the other team is doing great. 2019, for example, okay, for the Niners, we were doing great. Warriors, we got hurt. You know, like, all I'm saying, we're not doing too good, the Niners.
I'm telling you back to back.
But, I mean, the Warriors, okay. Like,
just like
mark it right now on the calendar, okay?
Baby,
You're
right
saying we're going back to back, okay?
Bro, calling it like Drake, Aubrey Graham. We're going back to back.
Dude, if we go back to back, I'll buy your jersey if you get this right.
Say less.
I'll buy your Warriors jersey.
Hey, and straight up, how's my track record with the Warriors? I have a decent track record when it comes to this kind of stuff.
So, like, any Warriors jersey if you're choosing, okay? Even if it's like Mitchell Ness or something.
If we're going off for right now, because I have Steph and Clay.
See, I want to get a rookie Steph jersey. I actually don't have one.
I gotta get a final Steph one.
Oh yeah, man.
I gotta get one of those.
I don't know.
Anyway, as we wrap up this episode here, everyone enjoy the NBA season. Hopefully your team does well.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, if it's the Warriors, they do really well.
Yep.
But brother, let them know where they can find you.
All right, boys and gals, you can find me on twitch.tv/SanFran5. I'll be live Thursday, okay? And I know I've been kind of slacking. Hey, give me a break. It was just my 21st birthday. I was enjoying my vacation. All right, it was great.
Damn straight.
So you can find me on twitch.tv/SanFran5. Once again, Snapchat, broke_beaner445. That is correct, broke_beaner445. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it, SanFran5. I really do. That's about it, man. How about you, man?
Yeah, well, you can also find on our YouTube page, we have his YouTube channel, SanFran5, linked on our Two Beans in a Pod YouTube page. So go ahead and, if you're subscribed to us, if you're not, go ahead and subscribe to us. But if you already are subscribed to his YouTube channel as well, this has been another episode of Two Beans in a Pod. You can find me on all social media platforms at JustJose_3. Make sure to follow the podcast on Spotify or subscribe to our YouTube channel, Two Beans in a Pod, where you can find each of these episodes of this podcast. Once again, thank you for dropping by and hanging out with us. And if you enjoy these episodes, be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And as always, my name is Jose. This is
Jared.
Hey, he said his name. And we are Two Beans in a Pod.
Do you think it's cringe when Dub Nation says Warriors? Because I kind of like it than the whole Trey Area.
I was going to say, do you think it's cringe when I say Trey Area?
I don't know.